What do you make of this pandemic?
Well, it's tragic in a lot of ways for a lot of people. Um, but like anything, kind of the yin and the yang, there's some upsides, and I think our family has seen a lot of the upsides of just more family time together. I got plane ticket to ride, and feeling like getting to know the kids better, and spending more time as a family. So there's a silver lining.
Let's move into the living room. Could you tell us a story from Andre House?
Oh gosh, let's see. Well, kind of talking about the Triduum, it was really neat. One of the things we would do on Holy Thursday at Andre House is at the soup line, as guests entered, before they got to where they could have some food, they were welcome if they wanted to stop, and we would have volunteers out washing the feet of the guests. And that was always, I thought, a really beautiful, it's a beautiful image, and that was a neat thing to do.
What about one from the Houston Catholic Worker?
I loved with every Wednesday night there was Mass, and at a certain point I started playing the guitar. So there's a group of volunteers with Louise Zwick, and we would play the guitar and sing these Spanish songs that I'd come to learn because they were different than the ones we sang in New Mexico. And that was really fun. And then just getting to know the guests there, Beatrice and Lourdes being highlights. So.
What homesteading skills would be helpful these days?
Oh gosh, lots. I think, growing your own food, being able to can. I think we've had a loss in our society of like manual labor and being able to do things with our hands, fix things, build things, none of which I claim to really know how to do, but I think all those things are really, super valuable, and I think they contribute to like the core of who we are as humans.
What do you love about Pope Francis?
I love that he I feel like he puts the poor at the center of the church, and, doesn't keep them at the margins, and reminds us that, we're responsible for each other and responsible for our earth.
Longest bike ride you've ever taken?
Mike and I went with Patrick and Annie on the Cal Haven Trail, which goes from Kalamazoo to South Haven. We did not do the whole thing, but we rode part ways on old railroad tracks. We started in South Haven and then turned around and went back. I think it was 17 miles.
Wow. How old were you when you learned the fight song?
Oh gosh, I'm sure young, since we watched Notre Dame games and my dad went there. So I don't exactly remember when, but I would have known it pretty young.
Why does the U.S. have so many people who are homeless?
Well, I think I think it's very multi-layered, with problems with addiction and mental illness, and us not being well equipped and putting a lot of resources into helping people in those situations.
Have you ever broken up a fight?
Not necessarily that I can recall. If I did, I would have had a peripheral role, and I'm sure other people would have come to the rescue pretty quickly.
Have you ever been in a fight?
Not a physical one.
What are you most proud of?
Well, obviously I take a lot of delight in, but I don't feel like I can be proud of it, but I take a lot of delight in the 3 kids and who they are. And but one thing I sort of like did myself, again, like we don't do anything ourselves, but starting the garden at Casa Juan Diego is something I feel really good about.
keep your microwave in your basement?
Well, we gave up the microwave for Lent 1 year, and just didn't even have it in the I mean, it was in the basement, but it wasn't plugged in, and we just never used it. And yeah, we just didn't want to bring it back and use it, and so yeah, realized there's lots of other ways to reheat that don't involve that, and so trying to use those instead.
What do you love about South Bend?
It's a great kind of gritty town. I mean, we've been able to, I don't know, really participate in a wonderful community here, with our parish and Notre Dame, and just lots of great folks here. We love the river, and I like the size of it. And again, the neighborhood, I think, plays a big role in that. So.
Is The Mission still your favorite movie?
Yeah, probably. I think it's a beautiful movie, but it's a very hard movie to watch. I tend to like movies that are just go down easy. But actually, I mean, one of my favorite movies is Shawshank Redemption, which is again also a little bit hard, but has a more hopeful ending.
What's so good about it?
Yeah, I think sort of seeing people who were subject to injustice sort of get some sense of justice at the end, and yeah.
Let's keep moving. We can start heading upstairs while we talk. We gotta keep it moving here since we're asking you so many questions. What do you wish you knew how to do?
I wish I knew how to sew. I can knit a little bit, but not sew.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Well, I tend to think a lot along the lines of trying to conserve resources. So it is a big pet peeve when I view people wasting them.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
To cure myself of cancer.
That's a good one.
Or, I mean, I should say that a little, probably less selfishly. I mean, yeah, probably to, sort of achieve a peace in the world.
What makes you mad?
It makes me mad when I feel like people who are most vulnerable and just get the short end of the stick, like the ways that the world happens, and even in this pandemic, like they're the ones that get hit the hardest. They're the ones who get the short end of the stick again, and that they get taken advantage of and all sorts of things. So that makes me mad.
Shall we go in Miriam's room? What does the world need?
I think the world needs more community and a sense of belonging, and a sense of their worth, and a sense that they have gifts to offer and a responsibility to share them.
How can you be better?
Well, I can certainly have more patience with my family, and it's probably a big one.
Where's the prettiest place that you've ever
been? Well, I mean, I sort of have to say New Mexico. I love New Mexico. And Santa Fe is very beautiful.
Let's head into the boys' room. What's your advice to people going to college?
Oh gosh.
Actually, the lighting's better here. Let's
go to Holy Cross.
Yeah, I think, I mean, there seems to be a trend in, you know, moving to sort of more practical things of business and finance and just to, I think it can be a really, just sort of where you're at developmentally, that it can be, and just the environment that gets created at a college is a great time to explore different ideas and sort of broaden. So like a liberal education, I think liberal arts education can be really a valuable thing in sort of forming you for life.
What's your advice to someone starting high school?
Try not to get sucked into the drama. I mean, yeah, just that, yeah, to hopefully, I think it's hard to have a sense of yourself because you're still so young that you don't totally know, but I mean, yeah, just not allow others to tell you who you are.
To someone starting kindergarten?
Aw. Just go get them. Go get it.
Maybe we should check on someone who will be in that situation in a little while. Let's see here. What else we got? What's your favorite scripture passage?
Come on, guys, to the attic. Mimi's Cafe.
No, you're in Scratch Basil. I mean, you're in Bit Basil.
What's your advice to